Welcome. Hi. We have 6 weeks until we move. And today I thought I could do some packing and just have a little chat with you. Share my thoughts and feelings about all of this. What's going on? Hold on, let me make this a little bit more comfortable. On Sunday, Haley and I decided to start packing our clothes, which is what I was gonna do in this video, but we can pack other things, it's okay. I have some footage of that, so let's start with that and I'll show you how far we got.
You wanna help? Come on then, camera's rolling. Let's just get the clothes out and put them on the bed.
Starting with your suitcase that you haven't unpacked in time.
I unpacked that, it's empty, and now it's full of my backpack. Oh god, no.
Does that ruin
No, that ruins the vibe, babe. My Miffy PJs that you hid from me.
That you never wore.
I wear them. Progress update. How's it going?
It's going. It's not the most fun Sunday, but
It's getting there. I'm gonna ship all of this stuff, and then this is my maybe pile for stuff that I don't know what to do with, and this is stuff that might go in the suitcase, but also maybes. Okay, we're done. These are the 2 big bags going to the donation box. This is Haley's clothes, my clothes, and homewares. I'm pretty impressed with what we've done today.
Oh, don't mind me, I've changed out of my sweater because even though it's October now, it's still too hot. But here we are. I've got this Beastie Boys shirt. Let me show you what we got done the other day. So, this is my box of clothes with a couple of extra things on top. I am now thinking of vacuum bagging some of these because I've seen how well it worked for Haley's box. So I'm just leaving it messy right now. Haley's dug out some extra shoes she's bringing. These 2 haven't helped at all. Okay, this is Haley's box. The vacuum bag on the top seems to have just let all of the air out, so we're gonna have to redo that, but that's fine. Because we're at the beginning of October, it's still hot. We're gonna go through autumn, so we're gonna have like light layers, and then it's gonna be winter, and then when we get to the UK, it's gonna be winter, so we need a little bit of everything. So what we're doing for the next 2 weeks is just keeping some of our summer clothes out, just a couple of pieces, and we're gonna shove them in a box on the day the movers come and just hope for the best. This is what we'll work on first. This is somewhat empty already, so it's just like getting rid of stuff now. A bag full of matchboxes! Okay, notebooks. I've taken all of this stuff out of this pink cabinet, so let me go through it and then we can have a little chat. Maybe I can sort them into categories. Good away. Oh, broken. That doesn't fit. Okay, so I've got a pile of junk to get rid of, stuff to see if I can give away, and stuff I'm gonna take. Have a box full of matchstick boxes, which I started collecting when I got, let me show you. This one. This was from a cafe here in Korea when I was with my friend Chantel. And then this one was given to me by my friend Kat. She gave me a candle for my birthday and those. And then I was like, oh, I kind of want to collect more when I go places and then maybe put them in a shadow box, which luckily I haven't done yet because then I'd have to take the entire shadow box. But I'm going to bring them back. I probably just have to empty all of the matches out of them because that sounds kind of dangerous to ship matches internationally. Out of interest, here are some of the ones I've got. We just came back from Thailand for our honeymoon and I picked up a few. These were 10 baht each, so I paid like £1 for 5 of them. I like that one a lot. I really like it. It looks like apartment buildings. Matchbox haul. I got this one in a shop in Korea because this looks like Kona. Or Bing, it could be either of them. This one I got in Hong Kong, Holiday Inn. This one I got in Busan. It's just a little cafe one. What does it say? Pine Hill. And then maybe I picked this one up in Taiwan, but we got some Marlboro lights. I don't smoke, I just like candles. So let me empty these while we chat. Oh, I feel so wasteful. I don't want to get rid of the matches, but what can you do? Before we continue, let me take a moment to introduce today's video sponsor, BetterHelp. I believe therapy is a really important tool that anyone can use, whether you feel like your life has been turned upside down or whether you think you're in the clear at the moment but you want to use it to help you weather any storm. I can pick from one of many accredited therapists to find one that best suits my needs and that I can arrange an appointment with while being in a different time zone. Therapy offers a safe, unbiased space to talk about whatever is on your mind without fear of judgment. For me, after having a very difficult year, it's important to have guided help from an expert who is trained to understand and give new perspectives on what I'm going through. BetterHelp is on a mission to make starting therapy easier. They offer a platform where therapists can communicate with their clients easily to ensure that the client can get the most out of their session. And if the therapist that you were matched with doesn't feel like the right fit, it's easy to switch to another one until you find someone you can connect with comfortably. If you think therapy would be a good fit for you but you haven't tried it yet for whatever reason, click the link in the description or go to the link that I'm going to put on screen right now and you can get 10% off your first month of therapy with BetterHelp. Thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring today's video. Let's jump back in. I wanted to chat a little bit about, let's start with why I came to Korea. I've definitely talked about this before on this channel, but it was a few years ago, so if you're new or you've not been around for a little while and you're just catching up, I do get a couple of comments like, what? I've missed a couple of chapters, so I thought I would just start there. I knew pre-COVID that I wanted to move abroad. I'm the kind of person who doesn't really set down roots. I want to go new places, try new things, experience different cultures, meet people, and how do I get these out? Do I just snap them? It seems dangerous. So it was something I wanted to do for a while, but then COVID hit, and I lived on the Isle of Wight. Living on an island is very isolating, and I know I'm going back there, but I think it will be different with Hayley, and we know we're not going to be there forever, but I lived there for quite a large chunk of my life, and especially during COVID, it just really hit me that I felt so far removed from everything, and I just started getting really down in the dumps. I just wanted to experience a different life. It's very expensive to get on and off of the island, and I do have friends there, but most of my friends are spread out now all over the world, but I just started getting a little bit sad. So I got offered a job as a business development manager at a tech company and had possibility to relocate to Korea or Singapore, but I really didn't want to go to Singapore. It just seemed not my cup of tea in comparison. I took the job and it was great for me because also I've been doing YouTube for so long. I kind of wanted to do something that just got me out of this little influencer content creator bubble. I didn't want to kind of lose track of reality, you know what I mean? Like, I think it's always important to, if you're doing this kind of thing long term, to try other things in between, just because it can be a little bit like, I don't know, it just doesn't feel real. That's all I'm gonna say. So I took the job and we knew it would take a while to get to Korea because COVID restrictions were still in place. So I started getting everything ready, decided to rent out my house and then to London for a while before coming to Korea, which was a really great transition because going from countryside island life to a big city on the other side of the world is a bit of a jump. So it was nice to have that transitional period. When I got to Korea, I lived in Airbnbs for like 9 months on and off. Like, I had to come back and forth because my visa was taking ages to process and it was a while. And then I got the visa and I came here and settled in, and that's where oh, those are nice. Pink, look at those. I don't want to remove those. Anyway, have to. That's why you saw me living in my apartment in Sinchon, the one with the little loft. And I really loved it. Like, I've had the best time. I do not regret for a second moving to Korea. It's been amazing. It's exactly what I needed. Best decision. But you know, things have changed and we have decided to move for a variety of reasons, which I'll chat about a little bit later. I guess I should do a little bit more packing. How do I dispose of those in the safest way possible? Here we are. Done. I can pack those now. Let's empty a couple more drawers and then come back and chat about, I don't know, what Korea has taught me and like what I've got from this whole experience. These are boxes from the sitting room and I want to empty them so I can use these for organizing stuff that's gonna go on the shipping container. Container pallet, I don't know what it is. It's not a container, we don't have that much stuff we're bringing. This is all travel stuff. and a rusty business card holder. So what has living here taught me, and what have I experienced living here? Well, the big one is obviously I met the love of my life, and now I'm a married woman. Didn't really expect that to happen, but you know, life just gives you what you need when you need it. And I'm so pleased I came here, because fate could be real, could be fake, but if it is real, that's the reason I came, was to meet Hayley and to meet all of my incredible friends, which I am so grateful for, because I feel like I've been so quickly like taken in by a lot of people here, and I really like flourished. I've learned so much through them all, and I've met people from so many different parts of the world, and it's been so incredible. And I've met people here that I know I'll have a lifelong connection with, even when I don't live here and when they don't live here. The thing about living abroad, particularly in Korea, is that like it is a revolving door here. Life here can be very transient for a lot of people. Like, people come and go constantly. Actually, most of my friends who have left the country, interestingly enough, are my Korean friends. But you know, people who come in don't tend to stay forever, unless you meet someone who's Korean and you marry them and you live here. Korea is such an incredible place. It is phenomenal, but it is very hard to live here as a foreigner, as it is in many countries. But from my perspective and from what other people who've lived elsewhere have told me, Korea is just exceptionally difficult. The visa process is horrible. There are very few jobs that you can get here outside of teaching or being in the entertainment industry if you're not Korean. Earning the same amount as your Korean counterparts is not guaranteed. It is obviously much easier if you are fluent in Korean, and any level of like conversational Korean will really help you. I learned as much as I could, and it has been a lifesaver. I have a lot of friends here who like adore being in the country, but they do really struggle to maintain their visa and figure out what their progression in life is going to be, whereas being in your home country, it's a lot easier because you can take more opportunities. You can network in different ways. I don't know, there's definitely so many ways to do it. I don't want to put anyone off. But that's one of the main reasons that it is a revolving door here. And you'll make amazing friends, and then all of a sudden, they're gone. Other things that I've learned while being here, I've become really good at pushing myself out of my comfort zone by traveling abroad. And if it's something that you're thinking of but you're kind of a little bit scared, let me just tell you, life is an experiment. You just have to try it. You will never know if you don't try. And if you hate it, you go home. Like, truly, if you want to do something in life that you're not sure about, you're really scared, you are doing your future self a disservice by not trying it. If you try it and you hate it, you know, and then you live the rest of your life without regret, because you don't think, oh my god, I wish I'd moved to Korea when I was 29, you know? Do I need these mini razors? But I do recommend, like I said just a minute ago, like really do your research about whatever country you're moving to, because nowhere is going to be utopia at all. Everywhere is going to have its problems, politically, socially, economically. Your home country is going to have its problems. Nowhere is going to be perfect, and you will end up with feelings about this new country once you've been here 6 months to a year, where you start getting really frustrated. That's real culture shock, not just when you go on holiday, but when you've been in a country for a long time and you start noticing the systems that don't work the same way as they do back home, and then you get really frustrated, like, why isn't it done this way? But that's just life in different countries and different cultures, and that's why you go, right? Because you get to experience the good and the bad. Rollers. I can part with those. Something else that I've learned while being here is that it's actually really easy to make friends, and maybe it's because I was isolated on the island for so long. I was really worried. I was like, what if I don't make any friends? Am I gonna be really lonely? But my friend Sarah, who had moved to Japan before and then moved back there around the same time I moved here, said to me, like, I can't explain it to you, but you do not even need to worry about that. You do make friends when you move abroad, whether it's through work or through other means. I met some of my best friends on Bumble BFF. When I first got here, I got on Bumble BFF. I was like, I'm gonna make some friends, and I did. And then I met all of my other friends through them, and in other ways as well. But that's like how I made my first friends. You will find that there are so many other people, especially in big cities, that are in the same situation, who have just arrived, who want to make friends. You can meet them on Facebook groups, you can meet them in meetups, language exchange. There's so many ways to meet people, and it's really easy. And the best thing to do is meet people who are from the country you're moving to as well. I have so many wonderful Korean friends. They've taught me so much about the culture, the language, everything, and I'm so grateful for that. So I promise you, it's really easy to make friends if you move abroad. But yeah, I can't think of anything else off the top of my head that goes into this category. So let's wrap this up and I'll come back and talk a little bit more about how I'm feeling about leaving, because it's bittersweet. Progress update. So we've got some piles going on. I'm gonna take these and soak them in water for an hour and then I can throw them away. That's what the internet said. My pens. I've made some progress. I think my dream of having a perfectly clean and tidy house over the next 2 weeks might be a little bit far-fetched, because I think we're just going to be in a state of limbo while everything is getting sorted. More reason to get it done quicker so that we're ready. I'm not finished with today. I still have a lot I want to talk about, so I'll come back, but I've just had an alarm on my phone go off to remind me that I have to finish my deadline today. So let me just show you where we're at for the end of the day and I'll come back tomorrow. This area is all tidy. This is Haley's stuff. I'm leaving that to her. I tidied the stuff down the side of the bed and now I only have my camera equipment and this box of pajamas there because I emptied all of the bed. The crates are going to stay, and that bag in the middle is blankets to donate to the local animal shelter, so we got to do that. And then this is where all the progress has been made. This is all the stuff I'm keeping so far. I got rid of a ton of bags of recycling and rubbish. This is electronics. This stuff I need to go through, but it's a lot of memories and a couple of stickers and things like that I want to keep. That's some small stuff from the kitchen I need to wrap. More memories. Hair clips, I need to find like a little bag for those. Some accessories that missed out on going in the box the other day. And I know it sounds ridiculous, but I don't know if I can get these tiny cotton swabs in the UK, so I picked up 2 of those from Daiso. And some of my favourite eyelashes, which I don't wear very often, but when I do, I like these ones. So I'm bringing those. I'm gonna pack this all properly, but I just wanted to get it in like an order so I knew what was going on. All of these drawers are empty. Every single one. The desk is empty. The pink thing is empty. I cleared out a lot of that. And then all of this cabinet is empty except for some of Haley's stuff. I've started a pile on the table of stuff that I'm gonna offer to friends or give away. I'm gonna add to that this week, but I need to find somewhere to put it so it doesn't clutter up the whole space. The shipping company is coming mid next week, which is going to be really nice. We're getting it out of the way early so that we can enjoy ourselves and we don't have anything to worry about. Yesterday, Haley and I went hard on the packing. We did so much stuff, and unfortunately I didn't film any of it because I really needed to crack on. But let me show you what we've done. The first notable thing is, you know these weird little rooms we have off to the side? Well, the one in the sitting room we've cleared out completely and we've refilled it with all of the stuff that we're giving away. So everything in here, all of these boxes of stuff, this stuff is all gonna go. We have more we're going to give away, and we're going to give away a lot of our furniture too, but we're still using it, so we haven't got that far yet. That's all of the small miscellaneous stuff, so that's really, really good. It's out of the way, it's done, and I think what we're going to do is have like a free yard sale and let all of our friends come and just pick over all of our stuff and take it with them one day. Then in the bedroom, it's a mess in here. I've cleared all of my boxes off the table. In this little room, this is the stuff we're keeping. We're keeping everything except for this mattress. We just couldn't be bothered to move that last night. That is going. We have packed all of these suitcases which are getting shipped. Our shoes are in these boxes, and we've started packing the big
black boxes. These ones I packed yesterday. We've got some big crates and some smaller ones. I've labeled them all. It's things like cables and hair tools and stuff like that. And we have 2 more of these boxes with our clothes in them that need to go in here. We just need to fully vacuum seal the clothes, but that's looking good.
Hey, back with another packing update. I want to show you what we've done yesterday, and then I'm going to round out with a little bit of a chat about like the realities of living here, why we're leaving, all of that kind of stuff. So about the packing, like as much as I wanted to try and film as much of it as I could with Haley, like genuinely sometimes with these things you've just got to crack on. I want to focus my attention on being there for Haley, helping her make decisions, getting everything packed, and if I have time to show you like aesthetic shots of packing in the meantime when it's just the 2 of us, then I will. But Haley and I have actually done the majority of it, so sorry I didn't show much on camera, but I will show you what we've managed to do because we got loads done. And this is where we're at with the packing. We're going to finish this up on the weekend and then we're done. So I've got a pile of clothes I'm going to try and wash and donate. I've got a box to fill. We have vacuum sealed all of our clothes, and then what I've done here is I've taped up all of these little valves and all of the edges because I was worried they'd come undone. This is my area of miscellaneous stuff. Like, you know when you get to the end of packing and you just get little things that don't go into a category? That's where I'm putting them, and then I'm going to put them into a box and it's going to be in the final box. I've just got some stuff we need to keep out, like documents and our packing supplies. This rug we're going to fold up and we're going to put in one of the dogs' crates because we want it to kind of smell like home so they feel comfortable on the flight. Desk is looking empty, but I need to flat pack this the day before the shippers come. The dog crates are here because there's nowhere else for them to go, but that's fine. Here are the clothes that we're just taking in our suitcases. I think we're going to go through these one more time just to take out anything that we really don't need so that we can put in the shipping containers. And that's that. Hey guys! We have one extra box here. This is all stuff that we've bubble wrapped, like some of Haley's coasters, some gifts that we've given by friends. I wasn't going to take the sewing machine, but Nan said she wants it, so I'll bring it for her. And then I've put this blanket on top of it to hopefully cushion them a little bit more. Oh, something else I've also done is I've washed all of these blankets, so they're ready to go. I feel like everything is in such disarray at the moment, but I know we've come so far. Like, I feel like we're at a really good place right now, and we're almost ready to have the movers come. I feel really good about this, so I don't think I'm going to check back in until after everything's been picked up. Wish us luck. I think it's gonna be interesting. Anyway, let me just sit down and we'll have a little chat about some of my thoughts about why now is the time to leave Korea. So with all of this packing and talking about leaving Korea, I thought it was time I give you a bit of a chat about the honest reality of why we're leaving and what it's really like living in Korea, just because I want to be brutally honest. Some of you guys watching might want to live here, and there's certain things I think you need to know before moving here or before moving abroad in general. Some of these things I knew before I came to Korea, some of them were a surprise. I did my research before coming here, and at the end of the day, nowhere is a utopia. So you just have to move abroad knowing that there's going to be things that you don't like about any country, and I can give you a whole list of things about the UK that I don't like either. And yes, although I'm going to talk about some of the negative aspects of living here, I'm pretty sure all of these things are like systematic parts of living in a different country. I hope that you guys understand that none of this is to reflect badly on Korean culture or Korean people, because I've been so lucky to be able to live here and to be able to take part in Korean culture and to be able to make so many Korean friends and feel so much warmth and acceptance from the people here. I've loved eating Korean food and learning more about Korean history and looking at beautiful Korean art, and if you ever get the chance to come to Korea, oh my god, you have to. It is such an incredible country. It's a wonderful place to be, but like systematically there's a couple of issues that have been difficult for us, particularly in the last year or so. And you know, Korea has been an underdog in the last century. It has had a huge come up very, very quickly. So some of the things I'm going to talk about might just be because these systems haven't had time to upgrade as quickly as the country has developed. The first thing is the big one. The real reason we're leaving is obviously we got married, and because Haley and I are both women, our marriage is not recognized in Korea, and as soon as we were engaged, we knew our time in Korea would come to an end. There are obviously LGBT plus couples in Korea who get married and stay here and have a good time, but our rights are limited here, and we want to have the same rights as our heterosexual friends, you know? So we do want to live somewhere where we can enjoy those rights, and that's just something we want to do as a married couple. But that being said, there is a thriving LGBT plus community in Korea. If you're ever going to come visit, there's a lot going on. There's also a huge pride parade, which was the biggest it's ever been this year. It's tripled in size. I think it was like 155,000 people showed up this year, which was so great to be a part of. So things are definitely changing here, but we want to be happily married, so we're going to go and do that at home for a little bit and then elsewhere. The next thing I think feels a little bit more dark, and that is I don't feel very safe in Korea, and I'm not talking about like personal safety when I'm out of the house. Crime rates here are phenomenally low. Like, I can walk outside the house at 4 a.m. and feel safe as a woman, which is amazing. I can leave my phone on a table in a cafe, go away for an hour, and it's still there. But I don't feel safe in my building or in crowded spaces. There are 2 fire alarms in this building. Guess where they are? They're in our apartment. We installed them. It is not a legal requirement in rental units. I didn't know that. That's new to me. There are a lot of fires that happen in buildings and tunnels. There are a lot of buildings that collapse due to corruption, and unfortunately in public spaces I don't feel safe. 2 years ago there was a horrendous accident. You might have seen it. It made international news. There was a crowd crush that happened. It killed over 150 young people in Itaewon on Halloween, and I was there on the other side of the street. I saw it. I saw people being pulled out of the crowd. I saw people being resuscitated. I saw bodies on the floor. It took hours to get out. It was so crowded. The subways, you couldn't breathe. It was one of the worst nights of my entire life, and I haven't felt safe in this country since. And all that's happened since is that the blame has just been moved around. I feel like these families haven't been given closure. It's just horrible. I do believe that like they have tried to make changes with crowd control measures here, but like I just don't see enough has changed. And if I go to an event elsewhere, let's just say London for example, I don't feel unsafe in the same way I do here. But maybe that's just because I've seen it firsthand. So safety is like the biggest thing for me here. We gotta get out. I don't want to be here anymore. There are also other things that I don't love about Korea that, like, for example, these things haven't personally affected me, but I feel like I'm stepping on eggshells because they could affect me. There's no Hippocratic oath. So if you go to the doctor, your employer can literally just call and ask for your medical history. That's legal. And unfortunately, that stops a lot of people here reaching out and getting access to the mental health support that they need, which sucks. It really sucks, because on top of that, there is no anti-discrimination law here. The lack of anti-discrimination law, I think, unfortunately affects people of color more so than it affects someone like me. So obviously be very aware of that if you're thinking of coming here. I have friends who have not been allowed access into laundrettes, yoga studios, restaurants, clubs. Bear in mind, this was worse during the pandemic, but still, like, that's a real thing that happens here, and it has happened here very recently. And it affects Koreans too. You could be fired for just gaining a little bit too much weight. I'm not saying these things happen often, but they can, and they do, and it just makes you feel less comfortable in your everyday life. And I feel really bad for Koreans in particular, because they don't have a choice to leave. I can leave. So for anyone being like, if you don't like it, you can leave. I am. I am. And for example, like, when we rented this apartment, we told them we were roommates just because we didn't want to have anyone giving us any problems about the fact that at the time we were girlfriends. We didn't want any problems, and that is really sad. I won't go too much into what it's like working here in Korea because I was lucky enough to work for a British company, but working at a Korean company, I mean, I have friends who work at Korean companies and they're very, very happy. I have other friends who absolutely cannot stand it and they have a horrible time. But just if you are thinking of moving here, please do your due diligence and research what it means to work for a Korean company, how little vacation you're going to have. You probably will not be visiting home very often, I'll be honest. Look at what it will be like to work in the hierarchical system, look at what the hours will be like, what your responsibilities will be. Like, it is very different to working back at home, and that's fine because that is a different culture thing. So I'm not gonna shit on that, but I will shit on the safety thing and the lack of anti-discrimination law, because I think that is something that can be changed and it should be changed. That's not Korea versus the West. That is like something that I genuinely think would benefit everyone. But anyway, rant over. I don't want to come here and be negative because that's not my vibe, but I do want to be brutally honest because I don't want to pretend that this country or any country at all is perfect. It's not. I have had such a brilliant time here. I have been so very, very, very blessed and I've enjoyed my time here, but I now have got to a point where I'm like, it's time to leave. And these are the things that I'm realizing don't really align with my lifestyle. So I'm like, okay, it's time to go and do something a little bit different. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up, but as I mentioned before, my next video is gonna be all about how we are handling this international move. I've taken all of your questions from my last video and I'm gonna be answering all of those. We're gonna talk about how we're taking the dogs with us and shipping everything, so stay tuned for that because that is definitely going to be interesting if you're thinking of doing an international move too. And with that, I'm going to sign out. Thank you so much for watching and packing with me, and I will see you in the next one. Take care. Bye. Oh, I'm too far away to do my thing. Okay, bye.